No full reopening yet, but a new rollback of business restrictions took effect Monday. Bars and restaurants can increase occupancy to 75% with a limit of 250 people. Entertainment venues such as movie theaters can increase their capacity to 50%. Salons and barbershops will no longer have a limit. And gyms and fitness centers can increase capacity to 50%. Sonia Goins visited with local fitness clubs to show how the change will impact them.
Hey Shannon, the owner of Get It Done Fitness in Osseo, says several rounds of COVID-19 restrictions did a 1-2 punch to his business. He's hoping the latest change will help him get back on his feet.
And boom, we lost about 1/3 of our members.
After 2 shutdowns and capacity limits on how many people can be in the building, the owner of Get It Done Fitness is ready to return to somewhat normalcy.
Bring it, because we were waiting for this. We were waiting for this.
Jose Lars says they paused some gym memberships because some people were not comfortable coming to the gym during a pandemic.
That hurt me financially big time, and that put a lot of stress on, my lease over here, so I had to talk to the landlord.
If it weren't for a $3,000 grant from the city of Osseo and another from Hennepin County, he says he wouldn't be able to make it.
I'm still behind. I'm not making the same. Our gross revenue is not the same as what it used to be, a year ago.
Curves, a fitness center in Brooklyn Center, is also feeling the effects of the COVID-19 restrictions.
I'm very grateful for the grants that we've received, because if not for them, we would be closed.
Owner Jill Dalton says membership is down at her facility too.
Before COVID, we would have up to 100 people coming a day. Since the first shutdown, we have more like 35 to 40.
And with the rules expanded to a 50% occupancy, both gym owners say they hope it'll bring more people into their facilities.
I'm very relieved. I've been waiting. It's hard to just have 7 people here.
I believe that we're going to get there little by little.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Movie theaters have also had a rough time since the start of the pandemic due to capacity restrictions, and Hollywood opting to bypass cinemas for streaming services. But now there's some optimism. Governor Walz included entertainment venues in the most recent dial back of COVID-19 restrictions. This means places like the New Hope Cinema Grill can now increase indoor capacity from 25 to 50%. While management says this past year has been filled with ups and downs, a loyal customer base and the popularity of the adjacent Outtakes bar have helped them stay afloat.
We're getting a little bit more busier than we were before. Obviously not as busy as we were once, but it's slowly getting that way, and so I can tell that people are starting to feel more comfortable with going out.
The Cinema Grill also spaces out tables and sanitizes all surfaces. Their entertainment lineup includes classic films and live comedy shows on the weekends. A shuttered Brooklyn Park business is now using its space to serve the community in a different way. Haji's Kitchen was a catering service that opened up in June but closed due to slow business. The owner decided to keep his empty kitchen and turned it into a warehouse to store fresh, healthy foods. Owner Haji Salad is working with a St. Paul nonprofit where the produce is funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. He feeds about 600 people a day.
But then when COVID-19 happened, there were a lot of kids that were, they call those hyper hours, who were pretty much were not going to school, and they were not getting a proper nutrition. And I love helping out kids. So what I did was I ended up talking to one of my friends who has a program similar to mine, and that way if we can help out the kids.
Haji distributes foods in both Brooklyn Park and Mankato. We've got more details posted on our website. Entrepreneurs come in all shapes and sizes. As Neil Persley found out, they also come in all ages.
I've loved being creative and taking things, making things out of anything, right? And so that's where the tie started.
But the real genesis for Annabelle's entrepreneurial endeavors began last year. Anna started 9th grade at Wayzata High School and joined DECA, a club designed to encourage and promote entrepreneurs and leaders in business.
It was first going to DECA and I love it so much. And I'm like, how can I just use what I learned in my own life? And so then which then it just went hand in hand.
During the summer and the COVID lockdown, Anna found herself with time on her hands, but those hands did not remain idle.
Making these was just like awesome because it's like I love being busy, and that's what I totally lacked over quarantine. So it's like creativity and being busy.
She makes the tie bags from men's ties she recycles, and the pendants from designer buttons she takes from garments that she finds secondhand.
So then we'll find like new buttons and sew those back on and then donate it to like homeless shelters or things like that.
Annabelle created an Etsy site and brand with a catchy name.
My name's Annabelle, and so Annabelle backwards is Elabana. My dad thought of that one.
She made a how-to video last fall when she entered the Plymouth Arts Fair.
Starting off with making the tie bags, it all begins with choosing 3 to 4 ties that work well together.
This helped in marketing and exposure. Throughout this, Anna has become a pretty good seamstress. Remarkably, when she started, she didn't even know how to sew.
Gotten better, definitely gotten better. The lines are straighter. So.
Between the Plymouth Arts Fair and her Etsy site, sales have been brisk.
Actually, during the Texas snowstorm, we had a ton of sales then, because I mean, people were like online shopping, not much else to do. And then New York, some, Florida, just kind of all over the place.
Now finishing up her sophomore year at Wayzata, there's no telling where Annabelle will take her business skills in the future.
It's not just about the product that you're selling, it's about the experience.
In Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The Teacher of the Year candidates are narrowed down to 25 submissions, and we have 3 from our local schools that made the cut. They are France Roberts, a first grade teacher at Meadow Ridge Elementary in the Wayzata district, Jessica Stewart, a social studies teacher from Osseo Senior High, and Jamie Wise, a special education teacher from Champlin Park High School in the Anoka-Hennepin district. Good luck, teachers.
Section and state prelim individual competition is this week for local wrestlers. This week's CCX Sports Spotlight shines on one of the area's best grapplers. For a season that wasn't certain to happen during the pandemic, all in all, it's been a fun one for Osseo Junior Wrestling standout Jacob Meissner. He has just 1 loss.
I feel really good about it. I mean, nothing's really changed in the room. We're still practicing hard. We're conditioning really well. So as long as we go out there and wrestle, I think nothing's really different. We can't focus on the difference, then we'll get slowed down. But I think it's been really fun this year.
I think his biggest growth has been mentally. He's come off strong, very stubborn in what he does, on and off the mat, you know, in a good way. So I think that's been his biggest jump from last year to this year.
In an era of school co-ops, Meissner has an interesting setup athletically. He attends Maranatha Christian Academy, but plays football in their co-op with Providence Academy and wrestles in MCA's pairing with Osseo.
I like having a lot of friends on Providence team, on the wrestling team, and then in my own school. I get to know a lot of buddies. If I didn't wrestle with Osseo, I wouldn't be good friends with Jager Shack or any of the guys out here. But yeah, I love it. I really do love it.
Jake's a very good wrestler, but also excels on the football field as a running back and linebacker, although an injury cut short his season this past fall.
Touchdown Lions! Jake Meissner!
Osseo has a rich wrestling history, but hasn't been as strong in recent years. This season was a step forward as they earned some notice in the rankings.
We came into the season and we were on the lean and mean as a team, and I was really, really excited. I was like, this is good motivation for the guys and everything. So I was pretty excited for that, and we performed really well. Our season was really stacked with really good teams, which I loved. It only got us better, so it was really good.
Meissner's been ranked in the top 10 all season at 195 pounds, but recently made the decision to compete at 220 for section and hopefully state.
I've kind of decided 220 because, first of all, I don't like cutting that much, but I feel like 220 is the best route for me.
We just made a concise decision that, I think this is the better route for you, the way your style of wrestling, and at 220, those guys are a little bigger, a little slower, don't have such a gas tank like you do. Let's use this to our advantage.
195 is more faster, and it's you got to be going with them, and then 220 they're kind of slowed down, but they're stronger. So it's coming from 195, I got to be faster than him, and I can't outstrength them because they're a full 220.
He came up with it. He's the one that decided. You know, it's one of those things where whatever you pick, you know, I'm for it. You know, I'll support you either way because at the end of the day, I'm not wrestling for him out there. He is, so.
And Meissner will get the pin. The format for section and state competition is much different during this COVID-19 season. So Osseo's Section 5-3A is paired with Section 6 later this week for Super Sectionals.
I've been looking at sections and super section. It's going to be, super sections is going to be difficult. There's 4 top-ranked guys, including myself, are going to be in the bracket at 220. So I'm pretty excited for that. I've been training hard for that because only top 2 can go from the super section to state. So I was a little nervous about that, but I think I can do it.
Along with his good friend, practice partner, and co-captain Jagger Shack, who was ranked 3rd as a heavyweight, Meissner placed 4th at state last season. It won't be easy, but both guys have hopes of being on top of the medal stand.
I think him and Jagger, we have a huge shot at winning it. We're not taking 2nd, we're not taking 3rd. I think we're going for it.
It says up on the wall, it says Jagger Shack, Jacob Meissner 4-4. We both wanted to say Jagger Shack, Jacob Meissner 1-1. We both want to win state this year, especially as it's Jagger's last year. I think that'd be really cool.
Section 5-3A individual competition is Wednesday at St. Michael Albertville with the new Super Section State Prelim Saturday at Chanhassen High School.